So I thought I'd do an updated version of clay barring. What is it and why do we do it? And also tack on a couple things that you need to watch out for if you're going to do this process yourself. So the best place to start is whether or not your vehicle needs to have it done. Easiest way to find out, wash your vehicle and then take a sandwich bag, a plastic sandwich baggie, and put it over your hand. And while the vehicle's still wet, run this over the paintwork. What it'll do is it'll exaggerate anything that's still stuck in the paintwork. And you'll find, especially like when you go along the bottom of the doors, around the backside of the vehicle, it's going to be pretty bad. Up along the top, it's usually not too bad. But along the lower ends of the doors, it's whatever the tires are kicking up and slinging up onto your vehicle. That's where it's most likely going to accumulate. Whether we're applying a wax, a sealant, or in our case, ceramic coatings, we don't want stuff interfering with that bonding process, especially with the ceramic coatings. The clay bar is taking out stuff that washing's not taking out. There's embedded particles in your paintwork that just aren't coming out, iron deposits from your rotors and things like that. Washing doesn't remove it. So we go in with a clay bar and we remove all that stuff, and then we have a nice clean surface where there's nothing that's going to interfere with the ceramic coating so it can bond properly to the surface. If not, we're going to end up having problems down the road. We're going to have a coating that's going to fail. You're going to have waxes that don't last as long or sealants that don't last as long because they're not bonding to the surface. They're not sticking to the actual paint surface. So as far as clay bars, there's different types of products when it comes to clay. You got your traditional clay bar. This is a synthetic product. It's completely moldable. As you knead it and use it, it'll start to get dirty. So you just refold it and knead it again, and you can get a clean surface out of it and you can keep going. The newer stuff, clay pads. This is a synthetic surface, and then it's got it's got the Velcro on the back. This one can be put on a dual action polisher, and we can use a dual action polisher to use it on the vehicle. There's clay mitts, the same thing, synthetic material. This has got microfiber on the other side. And then we have the clay towels. This is microfiber on one side and the synthetic material on the inside. The only problem with this one that I ever found was I ruined one once. I let it dry. This lives in my wash bucket now, but I let it dry, folded over on the clay side. It ended up sticking together and I couldn't pull it apart. Ended up ruining the towel and had to buy a new one. So it's something to be aware of if you go with the clay towel. So a couple things to be aware of, especially with the products themselves. The traditional clay bar, you drop this. This is like a magnet. It's like a lint roller. It is going to pick up everything that it touches once it hits the ground. So unless you're working on a surgically clean surface, when you pick this up, it's going to be dirty. It's going to have dirt in it. It's going to have rocks in it. It's going to have hair, whatever it picks up, whatever it touches, and you can't clean this off. You can remold it if you wanted to and try and get to a clean surface, but now you're burying stones and rocks and dirt and debris in here. These have a life expectancy to them. In most cases, if you dropped it on the floor, you're going to have to toss it and get something else. The clay towels, the clay mitts, the pads, these are great. You drop this, rinse it off, and keep on going. Nothing will stick into this stuff, especially this one. It's got little pores and stuff, so debris will get trapped inside there as you're using it on the vehicle, and then you just go and rinse it off, and then you keep right on going. And the nice thing about the towel is you can fold it into fourths, and then you can do a section, flip it, do another section, flip, unfold it, refold it, do another section, and keep going. The other thing to be aware of is when you're doing clay barring, there is the potential for you to scratch the surface, and especially if the vehicle hasn't been done in a long time and really needs it, there's going to be a lot of debris that clay bar, clay towel or mitt is going to be picking up, and there's a chance that it could mar the surface, leave little fine scratches, that micro marring, the swirl marks, the spider webbing. That's where you're going to find that it could happen with clay barring and that. So when we do it, we always follow it up with polishing. We usually don't ever do a clay bar process without following it up with polishing. So if you're going to do it, you might want to consider polishing it afterwards. That's pretty much it as far as clay barring and what is it and why we do it. If you're interested in seeing more stuff on how we do things as far as detailing and that, go ahead and check out this video, especially this one with the scratches and how we do scratch removal, and I'll talk to you soon.